Good day out there to everyone in internet land. Thank you for joining me here on Retro Geek Gaming, the internet's equivalent of an old man shakes fists at clouds. What else is there to say? Let's go ahead and get into today's topic, shall we? So, a little bit of interesting things been happening with the gaming industry recently that I feel like talking about, and you guys are welcome, of course, to put your thoughts in the comments down below because I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But that seems like gaming is taking a kick to the balls metaphorically here. We have games like Skull and Bones that came out $70, mediocre at best, probably. Some would say it's probably even a poor game, just because it focuses on all the wrong parts. We didn't ask for it. But then you have games like Helldivers 2. It's $40. $39.99, $69.99, but basically half the cost, maybe a little bit more of taxes and all that stuff. And it's also interesting that we have this resurgence of like these older, well, not really older style, but I would just say more like indie games that focus more on being like just double A, maybe even A studios. And I think that this is great because now hopefully we start to get in a new renaissance of gaming, right? Where we see these companies that are making these $70 games, like the Suicide Squad, like Skull and Bones, and are just trying to basically do these little quick cash grabs of, hey, don't you want to play this game because it's this, and don't you want to play... No, we want games that are fun. I mean, I've been saying it for years. That's the reason why I'm a retro gamer, is because I can hook up my Super Nintendo, I can hook up my 64, I can hook up my Genesis, I can hook up any old school gaming system, and I can be taken back to those memories of those times. Like, I have more of a blast playing Rampage on the Nintendo 64 than I've had with games in a long time. So, outside of the occasional game coming up every now and then that's like, oh, this is really good and I'm really liking this and I'm really digging it, sometimes games are just like, and sometimes even the most fun games are games that you just drop like $20 or $30 for, so I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like video games are going through a resurgence now, or at least there's more of a focus, and I think that there's a couple of reasons for this. Is one, we as gamers are just getting tired of it. We're starting to see it in movies also, or we're just getting sick and tired of these cheap cash grabs of these people that are like, oh, you like superheroes, right? Well, here's a movie that's... No, we actually want story. And I think that that's the same that's going on with gaming, where we're starting to see, this is like a 2-hour campaign, and it's mostly focusing on live service stuff, and even though I dropped $70 for it, you're offering me season passes and updates or whatever, and even though the game could probably have been reduced to like $50 because it's just another 2K game or just another game that does the exact same formula that it did last year, you're charging me full price again. I don't play sports games. That's just an example. And just, Now, if it's something like, maybe Tears of the Kingdom that gives you just a whole new experience out of it, and it's been years since the last one, I can understand that because Tears of the Kingdom is more of a story-related game. But if instead we got like, what was that game? Triforce Heroes 2, and they charged $70 for it, I don't think that would be fair. But what I'm getting at is, it's interesting to me that we're getting stuff like Helldivers 2 that's only a $40 game. We're getting some of these games that are like $50, $30, and they seem to be better experiences. Even a game like Banishers, which is technically $60, so it's not $70, it's still reduced price, but still, these games that are cheaper than what developers are saying, or what studios, I should say, not developers. I don't blame developers, I blame the studios. What these studios are saying a game is going to be worth and why it should be $70, when you then have these smaller developers, these smaller studios that are coming out with games and they're blowing up. And all they're doing is just focusing on this weird thing that video games used to be, And to an extent, they still are. I'm not saying that they're not, because some games still are. But it's focusing on the fun factor. You know, not making it something that's just a cheap cash grab for no reason. Now, this is probably just me, but I think that this is wonderful news because maybe we can start to see a resurgence. Maybe we can start getting to a point now to where developers can go, yeah, you're right, we can actually make it a $60 game, make it a $50 game, and make more money off of it because it's selling more copies. I mean, look at Helldivers 2, for an example, a game that is basically sweeping the nation by storm. Can't even get online and play it on servers, from what I'm seeing, just because of the fact that there's so many people trying to play it. That they're even at a point now to where they're not even logging off. Do you understand? Like, they're not even logging off from the server, and they just continuously play. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. That's like Halo 2 kind of stuff I remember back in the day. So hopefully we can continue to do this, and maybe we can start to see, hey, if you actually give us content that we want, we're going to buy the game and we're going to support it. You know? So what do you think? Do you think they're at a resurgence? Do you think that gaming companies are going to finally get it? Because I don't mind the game being $70. I don't mind it being a $70 game as long as it's a big game where I get about 60 to 70 to 100 hours of content out of it, right? I don't mind it being that. But if it's just going to be a real quick live service or a real quick looter shooter or a real quick just like online game that is the exact same thing as like Overwatch and Destiny and all these other games, it should be less. It should be less than that. That's just me. And I'm saying this not because of me in particular. I am well off financially. I am tight financially, but I recognize that I am more well off than other people are. But gamers, especially when you give us so many games that come out in a month that we want to play, like in the month of March alone, I'm probably going to be dropping probably playing 2 or 3 games, depending upon what's coming out. And then we're not even talking about April and June and stuff. So, I mean, what I'm saying is we drop hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year to play games. It's not financially viable for everybody. And some people can't exactly go off and afford every new game when it comes out. And so it seems to me the best solution for this, Capcom, From Software, any game developer out there, EA especially, because those companies, EA and, other companies that I'm not going to name, they are a little bit more on the money hungry side. But hopefully this is something that they start to realize. Maybe we should make the games better quality so they can be worth $70, or if they're not, charge it appropriately instead of trying to say this is a quadruple A game when it's not. But that's just my 2 cents. But then again, I'm just an old man on the internet who is just rambling at a camera. So what do you guys think about this? Make sure you put your thoughts in the comments down below. Love to hear what you have to say. Otherwise, I'm going to go get on with my day, do some chores, go to work, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Have a good one, everyone.